Welcome back guys, Slowback here. Welcome to a slightly different video than normal. So we started the Steelfaith Overhaul campaign the other day, as you guys would have seen, hopefully. If you haven't, go check it out, it was awesome. But within that, we were like, well, what's actually changed? Like, we don't know. We were like kind of figuring it out as we went along, but we didn't have any like concrete information on what was actually changed. So I've got the patch notes for Steelfaith Overhaul, actually two different patch notes, one from the original and then one from the latest update with the Blade DLC, the last one. So we've got those ones as well. So I'll go through this one first. It's going to be a little bit of a long, rambling video because it's quite a lot of changes, as you can imagine. Kind of estimating somewhere about 45, maybe even an hour, somewhere like that, for me to like read through them and just talk to them. I'm going to talk as fast as I can, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. This is actually my second time recording this. The first time my audio crapped out and yeah, whatever. After an hour of recording, I was like, great, mate, great, let's go. Right. Firstly, I will say that if you guys like this video and you want to see, like, well, okay, so that's Greenskins, what happened with the Empire, what happened with blah, blah, what happened with blah, you know, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll do the other factions as well. I'll do like one a week or something like that, if you guys want to see it. Yeah, one a week would be quite nice. Alright, so let's start with Mr. Grimgor himself. So Grimgor is the best. He's got expert charge defense. He's got bonus which is large. Once he gets his weapon, gets snip across, and he's also been given fear. So we've got Grimmy. Grimgor is the best, which is a map-wide buff, as you can tell. It activates every 60 seconds. That countdown doesn't begin unless he's actually in melee combat. So once he's in combat, it will start. If he gets out of combat, it stops. If he goes back in combat, it starts again. That type of thing. So basically what that does is a 10 melee defense buff, 25% speed, 25% weapon damage, 10% physical resistance to everybody on the map, on our side. Allies. Not enemy, of course. That'd be a bit stupid, but yeah, for our side. That's normal, that's normal. Wow, we'll check out after this one. Yeah, everything else. He's got Juggernaut as well. So Juggernaut basically means that he can't get knocked around as much, or if he does get knocked around, he can still attack, rather than just being like stun locked by getting knocked over, which is really frustrating in the base game, but obviously he doesn't have it in this. The Black Orcs have that as well, which is really awesome. Waaagh, we want to have a look at. So Waaagh is similar to the Northskin buff that they have. I can't even remember what these is called. It's alright. We've got other units. We've got other things we can look at in Northskin. There we go. Theirs is called Rage. Yeah, okay. So this is called Rage. It's basically the same as that, right? So there's two versions of it. So there's the one for like the elite stuff, like the lords and stuff, and then there's one for like the standard infantry and things like that. So stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 is a stacking buff. The longer you're in melee combat for, the more that buff stacks. 5%, 10%, 10% plus 15% melee attack, 15% melee vigor as well. On top of that, actually that's quite raw. Yeah, there's also a 10% weapon damage buff that comes in on that last stage as well. So there is a lower level of it as well, which is that one there. So again, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, 10% melee attack, minus 5% melee defense, quite interesting. Stage 2 is 20, minus 10. Stage 3, plus 30%, plus 5 leadership, minus 15% melee defense. The longer they're in melee for, or melee, if you want to call that, the longer they're doing that for, more damage, well, not more damage, but they hit more, right? They're more accurate, but they take more damage as well, because their melee defense is dropping. It's quite interesting. It's actually a really interesting buff. I wish, like, this is like the Greenskin stuff should have this, right? Greenskins should just have these things. They should have that, and they should have the ability to take over other tribes by killing the leader, because that's exactly what Greenskin society is. It's exactly that. Yes, give it to them, baby. Right, let's go. Right, where's Eggs? Next up. So he's got magical attacks, as we can see. He's got a bonus versus infantry when he's on his mount. Can I give him his mount or nah? Yeah, there you go. So now he's got a bonus versus infantry. Nice, nice, nice. And he's also got arcane mastery ability. I don't actually know what that is. If I can see, is it there? Yes, 25% minus Muscar's chance. Okay. Pretty boring apart from that. He's got Frenzy. Does he normally have Frenzy? I think he does, but I think it's a skill that he earns later. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay. Next up, Ezek the Slaughterer. Ezek is here. Probably better if we put him in there, actually, because we want Skullmuncher as well. Because Skullmuncher does actually change a few things from Ezek. So he's got magical attacks. Oh, he doesn't have magical attacks if he's on that. So he's got magical attacks. He's also got Discourage. Now, this is when he's on foot. When we put him on his mount, Skull Muncher. He loses those two things. I think he loses them, and it's replaced by Lethal Poison, which is like the half damage version of actual poison. But I don't 100% know if it's replaced, but I'm pretty sure it is. Right, he also has Undead War ability, which is to summon in a unit of zombie boys. Yes. Yes, he does. That's so cool. That's so cool. Flow with the battle, which is affects allies in range with 40 meters, within 40 meters, 20% speed and 10% vigor. Vigor is massive. Like I don't think people understand how good vigor actually is. So good. So what basically, if you don't know what vigor does, vigor essentially you start with the battle with 100% vigor as long as you haven't force marched. Yep, that affects it as well on the campaign map. So you start the battle with 100% vigor. As the battle goes on, your vigor drops, and your stats, melee attack, melee defense, that type of thing, drop along with it. There's like strong vigor, and then there's perfect vigor as well. Strong vigor means obviously that it's a longer time period before it starts to drop. Perfect vigor means it doesn't drop at all. So that's basically how vigor works. Right, Mr. Scarstick. Oh yes, let's go, Gobos. Right, Mr. Scarstick has got Stalk, which means he can hide. Let's go. He has Frenzy, does he? Yes, he does. And he also has... he lost his bonus versus large. Okay. I'm not actually... Oh, there it is right there. I was going to say I'm not actually saying Stalk, but yes, I am. It's right there. Right, that's all the changes as far as the Lords go. But we do have a... Oh, no, Goblin Great Shaman. Goblin Great Shaman. He has magic attacks. That's all he got. Oh, they all get that as well, so whatever. Right, so he got magic attacks. Orc War Boss doesn't get anything unless we put him on his Wyvern, which then he gets the lethal poison buff. Night Goblin War Boss. Give him Frenzy, yes he does, and he has Poison Contact Effect. So that's the max level poison, which is minus 20%. The lethal poison, which is this one, is only 10%. Is it all the same? Speed, weapon damage, missile... Armor. Weapon damage, speed, armor. No, it's slightly different, right? Weapon damage doesn't come into this one. Can I just... somebody with poison. Just normal poison there. Oh, sorry. No, lethal poison when I look at it. Oh, no, it is. It's just down, around the other way. Okay, that's fine. Right, so what are we looking at? Night Goblin War Boss. Yep. Orc Shaman. Orc Shaman has magic attacks, of course, nice. Night Goblin Shaman has magic attacks. Goblin Big Boss, let's go boy, he's got smoke bombs. So he can get out a melee. Is that what it is? Minus 75% speed, minus 5 melee, minus 75% charge bonus around him. I guess you could use it for escape if you really had to, right? Squigs go boom. Spawns a unit of explosive squigs. Oh, really? Oh, that's so cool, man. That's actually so cool. I didn't realize that. We were not going to even get one of these, but I guess we will now. And lethal poison. No, he's got normal poison. He's got just normal poison. It says lethal here, but he's got normal. I noticed when I did this last time, the some of the figures in that are actually wrong. Unless they're just wrong in the notes. Like some of the unit numbers and stuff, they're actually wrong. That's whatever. Okay, so that's all like the bosses and stuff. Let's start on the units. So this is a perfect example. So as you can see, they've got 195 models. According to the notes, they've jumped them up to 260. Hasn't changed, so they've said they've jumped up from 160 to 260. But like I say, it hasn't changed. But it might have changed since. I don't know when this one actually came out. I think this is like the original patch notes for it. So I'm just going to ignore the numbers. We're going to just have a look at the numbers as we go across them. But I'm not actually going to quote them or anything. So 195 on them. That was only changed for them. These guys have net ability, which is nice. Increased weapon models as well. Unit models as well. So the Warlord's Boys, where are they? That one? Nope. 8 Learnings. Warlord's Boys. Yep, the Warlord's Boys have Guardian. So good. So that's a 15% physical resist for Lords and stuff that are around him. So that's really awesome. He's also been given Expendable, which basically means the units around him don't take leadership loss for this unit dying. It's so good, especially for like goblins and stuff like that. Warlord's Boys are usually pretty tanky though. They're usually not that big of an issue. Night Goblin Fanatics is the next one. Is it a Regiment of Renown? Or is it just a new unit? It's just a new unit, I think. Just with a different coloured background. Yeah, it's not a Regiment of Renown, it's just a different unit. Alright. What have they got? Let me go. They have Frenzy now? Yes, they do. These ones are only available for Scarstick. Other factions must require Carrick 8 peaks to recruit them. Well, that makes sense, because that's kind of where they come from, right? Yes, that's exactly where they come from. The 8 peak loonies? Place sword and shield with dual weapons. Oh, yes, they do. Nice, nice, nice. Models change, 165. They also have Frenzy. Man, a lot of these guys are getting Frenzy, eh? Nasty Skulkers have had their unit numbers increased. Weren't they like a 90 unit, I think? Sounds no. Orc Boys, nothing. Savage Orcs, nothing. Orc Biggins. Remove the bonus versus large, but they have the extra armor piercing damage. This bigger and harder is still there, even though it probably should go away if they don't have the bonus versus large. Savage Orc Biggins, nothing. Black Orcs. They have Encourage. No, that's immune to psychology. They have Encourage, which buffs leadership from dudes around them. Models have increased as well. Actually, I think that's decreased. Or is the base 60? I think the base may be 60. 75. Obviously, they have the WAR buff, the big WAR buff, because they're like an elite unit. And they have Juggernaut as well. Also, area attacks. Yes. Which means they do a lot of damage, these guys, like crazy amount of damage. Like kind of like the damage that a Black Orc unit should do, kind of thing. Crimson Killers, which of course are a Regiment of Renown Black Orcs. They have Fear, they have Encourage, and they have Frenzy now too. High damage. 38 models. I think it's smaller than standard, to be honest. And they do area of attacks. Arm to the teeth, 120 armor, anti-infantry buff. 55 plus 20? That's insane. And of course that affects melee attack and melee defense as well. And melee attack's actually really high as it is. These guys do so much damage, man. It's crazy. Gobbo Archers. I'm just reading down the list in case you're wondering why I'm not doing them in any specific order. Goblin Archers are just, their models have increased there. 120 is a standard, I believe, up to 150. That's quite good. Night Goblin Archers. Again, from actually 90, I think their base is up to 130, and they have a net ability as well, so obviously they can net stuff. Very nice. Fanatics. Given expendable. Yep. They have Frenzy as well, but I think it looks like the base Frenzy. And the Spinning Loonies they always have. Savage Orc Arrow Boys. Yeah, bonus versus large on missile damage? What? That's actually really good. Dude, that takes them up to 31 damage versus large. Wow. As a base. That's crazy. Plus these guys are obviously really good in melee because they're orcs. I seem to have missed... Oh, I know what I haven't done. I haven't gone through the new units yet. That's what it is. Okay. This is just buffs to existing units. Okay. We'll bring the new units in a second. Goblin Wolf Riders. Wolf Riders. They have been given strong vigor. I talked about earlier how good vigor is. Very, very good. Regiment of Renown one. This is just so freaking good. They've been given vigor as well. Plus they've got a bonus versus large. What? Oh, sorry, that's the next one down. Sorry. Oh, the Silver Shielded. Oh, they are too. Oh, nice. Wow, that makes them really durable. That's actually really good. Okay, nice, man. Nice. Spider Riders was the one I was looking at. Those ones. Which have a bonus versus large and a strong vigor. 41 damage as a base plus 10 versus large. Wow. Vanguard deployment, strong vigor. Yeah, well, I guess because like Biggins don't have anti-large anymore. Oh, that's one of the new units over there. Shh, don't tell them what it is until we get up to it. But yeah, okay. Shh. Night Goblin Squick Hoppers. Well, you know, I don't really use that much, to be honest. Strong Vigor, Fear, and Model Change. Yeah, I believe that's a 60 as well. No, it's Vigor. What's that one? Fear. Fear is very good, though. That actually makes them comparable to these without having to be a Regiment of Renown. The Fear on a Cav is so freaking good, man. You can break lines so easy with Fear. It's crazy on a cavalry unit. Orc Boys, nothing. Savage Orc Boys. Not those ones, those ones. No, it's Biggins. There's your Boar Boys have given a bonus versus large. Well, they don't too, because this is an anti-infantry usually. 15 as well. Wow. And they're 52 base damage. Oh, 67 damage versus large. What about the Biggins? Savage Orc Boy Biggins are still an anti-large. Yeah, no, so they haven't changed. They got frenzy. Yeah, they haven't changed. Oh, 25% physical. Oh, yeah, that's because of the wall paint, isn't it? Oh, the Chariot's been given fear? What? Dude, that makes that so good. Anything that's fast moving that gives it fear or terror, so good, man. It's so good. You can break lines so easy with it. Unless you're moved to psychology, of course, which most of these guys actually are. Broken Tusk Mob, which is the Regiment of Renown. They don't have the bonus versus large anymore, but have been given armor piercing damage instead. So standard, I haven't finished yet, by the way. No, there's still more. But just caveat, standard orcs, like without savages, don't really have anti-large defense. They've got those gobos, but that's cruddy. Oh, I guess they're not that cruddy. This is a new unit, by the way. Spoiler alert. It's only 32 damage, and then you go down to Spider Eyes and stuff, which they're very good anti-large. But I guess it depends on what other factions have as well, you know? It's not just what this faction has. Interesting. Okay. Just a thought. Alright, more groups, mangy marauders. Where are they? Those guys. So they've got strong vigor as well, and mutant psychology. Well, that's nice, I guess. Cool. Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers. Strong vigor, and they're going to be given Strider. Strider means that they don't lose speed over certain territories. Terrain, sorry. Did they always have regen? Yeah, no, they did. That's a melee bonus versus large. Wow, with poison. Interesting. So they're kind of like... what do you call it when they do both? Like range and melee? Whatever. There's one of those units now, I guess. The Depth Creepers, Forest Goblin, Spider Riders. Wasn't that what I was just looking at? It was. What was the other one I was talking about then? Oh, just standard, sorry. Got mixed up. Just the standard. Oh, yeah, they don't have the bonus versus large. It was the Death Creepers that have the bonus versus large. Yeah. Cool, we're cool. Golden Wolf Rider Chariot, standard version, please. Just give them strong vigor. Thanks. Teeth Robbers, which is the Regiment of Renown version. Bonus versus large on their missile damage. What? 79 damage. That seems really high. 145 range as well. That seems really high. 6 models too. I believe 3's the standard. They actually look really good. That's a heck of a lot of damage from a long range as well. And they got a bonus versus infantry for their actual chariot side. Wow. Squig Herd. So we go back up. Oh, sorry, monstrous Squig Herd. They've been given strong vigor, yes please. And bonus versus large. No, sorry, models. Models have increased up to 75. From 40, this is. Oh yeah, Jesus. Trolls. Trolls have replaced regen ability with troll metabolism. Metabolism. Is that how you spell metabolism? Is it? Yes. Oh, that's embarrassing. Right, so they no longer regen, but they do regen because they get through this, and they also get 25% physical resist. Wow. But they're weak to fire. 8 miles, I believe that's normal for trolls. Goblin Rock Lobber. Oh my god, I've been talking way too much today. So they're expendable, which is really good for those around the artillery, which should be nothing. The models have also changed from 4. So a standard Rock Lobber is 3. So 3 artillery pieces, up to 5 now. Doom Diver, same thing. Yep. Giant. Now the Giant is actually really interesting. So he's got a couple of new abilities. So you got this one. Savage Roar. So affects allies around him. Minus 25% miscast chance. So like inspires the casters to cast better. He also has 25% weapon damage and 25% armor piercing damage to the units around him as well. That's actually really, really good, boys. Constantly deals damage around him because of his big clumsy feet, knocking people over and stuff like that. Bolstered leadership, again, that's a constant buff around him. Makes everything immune to psychology because obviously there's a big giant beside me. I'm fine. You don't worry about nothing. And also plus 5 leadership, very, very good. And Wall Breaker, which allows him to attack walls. Obviously, in settlements and stuff like that. Spider, not as interesting, to be honest. She's got strong vigor. Again, you know, Vigor's awesome. We've kind of established it. Strider, and it's also got a bonus versus large on the infantry side of it. Which I thought was a little bit weird. Actually, and then Ragnarok's is the Spider Queen is exactly the same. Yeah. Cool. All right, that's all like the changes to like the existing units and stuff like that. So we'll have a look at the new units, which is probably the more interesting part. I kind of spoiler alerted some of them, but Forest Goblins. So they're an expendable unit, of course, Goblins. Strider, Lethal Poison, which is the weaker version of Poison. They have the bonus versus large, and they do benefit from skills from the Goblin skill tick tree, which we can have a look at when we actually get in the game. Bone Clubber Tribe Savage Orcs, which is these dudes. Look how much damage they do, man. 65 weapon damage. This friggin' thing. Banish, right? 10% miscast chance, minus magic resist, minus physical resist. You're like, well, that doesn't mean anything. But then they've got magic attacks. So if they hit you, and they hit you twice, they do 10% more damage. Right? Yes. 30% physical resist, 25% magical resist. They have the War, they have the Frenzy, they've got everything, mate. They're so good. Damage dealer, anti-infantry buffs versus that stuff. 65 weapon damage. Let's go, boys. We got to get down and get out some Savage Orcs, right? I actually want to play a Savage Orc campaign in this. I think it'd be really fun. Black Orcs with the shields. So pretty much the same as the Black Orcs, yet they've got silver shields. So they're just way more sturdy. It's really good. Their melee defense is way higher, eh? So their melee defense is actually 15 higher, but their melee attack is lower by 5. Armor is more. Charge bonus is less, because they're not going to be running as fast. Yeah, that's it. Yep, expert charge points as well. They're like the tanks. Tank, damage dealer, damage dealer. Oh, we haven't looked at him yet. Oh, he's next anyway. The Immortals, which is a legendary unit of Black Orcs. Grimgors. Immortals. Legendary unit. Yes. So he's a damage dealer, of course. Melee expert. Juggernaut. Again, so he can just smash face without having to worry about anything. He has this, which is, as long as he's in melee, he's buffing dudes around him with melee attack and physical resist, 10 on each. He has the War, of course, Muta Psychology because he's a big unit. Strong Vigor, Courage, Charge Defense, Physical Resist, and Magic Resist. Missile Resist, sorry. Noise. Is that everything? Oh, no, you've missed one. Colossal Squig. Man. Warhammer Online, Squig Herder. Let's go, man. Summon your Colossal Squig, jump inside it. Kill some people. Oh, dude, this game is so much fun. Right, anyway, the Colossal Squig, new unit, obviously a big squig. I think we've seen these before actually on the battlefield. We might load up a battle with these on them, with these new units, so we can have a look at them. Causes fear, strong vigor, immune to psychology. Has puff spores, which is that one. So it's another buffer around him. Melee defense plus 10 for everybody around him. He has the fungoid squig explosion, which spawns a unit of Squig Herd. That's not the one that... No, I thought there might have been the one that exploded himself once he dies. Again, Squigs go wild, which is a buff for him. It's awesome. Nice. Feral Warven, where is that? The only flying unit that apart from Lord's Mounts, that the Greenskins have access to. Where is it? I don't have access to it. I actually don't have access to it. It does exist in the game. Interesting. I can't get it here. Well, it should be in there. So basically it's a Wyvern that is available only for Azag. That's part of Azag's campaign. That could be why. Black Orc Big Boss. Oh, we skipped him too. You go away. That's a Big Boss. That's a Black Orc, right? Nice. Get him, boys. Hold the line. And more buffs. Just, you know, this is like a theme to the Greenskins. It's like buff. It's cool. So that's those two. He's also got War, of course. Bolstered armor, very, very good. Immune to psychology, hide, and courage. Expert charge defense, missile defense as well. Very, very cool. Right, so that's all the units. Let's jump in. I don't think it really matters who we pick. I want to have a look at the big boss. We've got one of those in the campaign, but we'll show it off. I just want to show you these units, the new ones, essentially. They've got the shields, those dudes. They're not new. All that stuff new. All that stuff's new. Colossal Squig's new. That's us. Yep. Where was the one that I wanted to look at? It like spawn. Was it this one? Or was it squid hoppers? Did one of these guys spawn in a unit? I know he does, but I thought it was another one. Spawns in an exploding unit of squigs, wasn't? Oh, was it him? No. Wasn't him, right? He spawns a unit of squigs, yeah, but there's one that spawned an exploding unit of squigs, I'm sure of it. I just don't remember what it was. Kaboom ability? I'm just quickly looking through the notes. Somebody's going to be like, oh, it's this. It's like, thanks, it's really handy for me right now. Oh, I'm going to have to give up. I can't see it. Oh, here we go. Goblin Big Boss, Goblin Big Boss, Goblin Big Boss. Spawns a unit of explosive squeaks. Nice, nice, nice. Right, give me something to attack. Beastman will be fine. Let's get them some crud. I don't know why I gave them those. They're better than the other ones. They'll probably beat us. Well, I don't really care. We just want to look, right? Oh. Just quickly sneak in and have a look at some of these units. Mutated Warhound. Slangles? Pesticores? Dude. Right, so stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. Right, yeah, fight. I think that's all the units. Just double check. Lots of double checking, boys. Let's go. Frost Goblins, yes. Bone Clubber, yes. Black Hawks with Shields, yes. Immortals, yes. Colossus Squig, yes. Feral Wyvern, can't get. Black Hawk Big Boss, yes. That's us. Nice, let's go. Let's go and smash it. Let's go and smash it. Actually, I just want to have a look at these units. I actually want to see what his blowy up thing's like. Please. Please and thank yous. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a lovely snow map. They're my favourite, right? Snow maps suck. It is Gobbos, you're right. You guys go on this here. Right, let's have a look. The size of this dude, man. God, he really just looks like Grimgor, doesn't he? It does. I wonder if there's like variation in the big bosses. Oh, I don't look at those, you already know. Look at the size of this frickin' squid, mate. Jesus, it's bigger than the Black Orcs. And those are like the good Black Orcs. Those are the elite level, excuse me, Black Orcs. Dude, they're frickin' cool. Look at this dude's frickin' helmet. He can stop moving for 5 seconds. Dude, that's awesome. That's really awesome. This is Black Orcs with shields. Oddly enough, it looks like a Black Orc with a shield. So cool, though. Oh, these are the Savage Orcs. Dude. Dude. They look so cool. Look at those clubs. Christ. These little forest gobbos. Which are basically just gobbos with feathers, essentially. Right. That's so cool. Can I, like, do I just... Oh, I gotta wait. Wow. This just kind of does it. I'm just seeing if there's any, like, other buffs I can do. No, we're just doing his. I want to see if he can blow stuff up. Like, how good is it? So what was his thing? Spawns a unit of Squig Herd. Just, like, randomly, or...? Right, we're good, we're good, we're good. Let's go. Of course, all his stuff is hidden. He does have an army. You guys... Ah. How... Stop. How long? Like, can he charge or what? Calm down, brother. Go cast it. He just walks. Oh, dude. Oh no, here we go. Almost kills it again. Oh man, look at that. It's like almost a whole unit. Holy crap. Oh wow. Wow. Alright, Colossus, let's go. It just slowly waddles across the field. Kaboom! Jeez, that's so good. That's so freaking good. Right, Colossus, let's go. Where are you spawning your unit? Oh, do something. Yeah, his is boring. You're boring. Right, lads, let's go. Dude, that was so funny. Well, we don't actually want to see anything else. Have a foot of Gork. We haven't done a foot of Gork in so long. So good. Foot of Gork is so... God damn it, Greenskins are awesome. Oh, if you play anything else but Greenskins, you're a freaking weirdo, man. Like, for real. Greenskins are so good. Just get them, boys. What am I even doing? We don't even need to stay here. Right. Ah, oh, crap, we lost. And Bell. Right. So we want to jump in and we want to have a look at the stuff inside the actual campaign, right? We're starting your campaign, that's fine. We'll do asset because I want to have a look at I want to have a look at his summon, and B, I want to have a look at the fields if we can. Let me see where we're up to on here. Right, we'll start with some economy type stuff because it's boring. Get that out of the way. Actually, this next part might be boring. It's just about buildings and stuff. It's not about units or anything like that anymore. Right, but I want to have a look at his fields, the Wyverns, and we also want to have a look at his ability where he summons in undead dudes or whatever. Please. Oh, I can't believe how much damage that exploding squid did. That's crazy, mate. That's absolutely crazy. Come on, Gabe. Oh, don't you crash on me, jeepers.
Black Crag is yours.
Shush, old man. Right, I want to have a look at the Wyverns, please. Yeah. Yep, so 450, it's anti-large damage as well. They have the poison effect, the lesser one, perfect vigor, strider, and all that type of stuff. Cause fear and terror. Very, very good. Can only be tamed by this dude. We want to see this in action, so we'll have a look at that after, but let's go with a new stance, which is that one. Stance Y begins, yeah. So campaign movement range costs us 50% to do it. I'm not going to be able to attack that, am I? No. Rude. What if I go back to normal? Yeah, no, we're fine. So it costs us 50% to go into it. Unit experience per turn for the whole faction. 25. Fightiness for the whole faction, +1. 50% growth, plus 50 growth faction-wide as well. And upkeep is +5% for all units. Very, very expensive. You have to be real careful with that. Especially late game if you've got multiple armies and stuff like that. You might have one or two in that stance, and then, yeah, you're going to be in trouble. Alright. So economy-wise, so vanilla values are 100%. Let's keep that in mind. So buildings generate 75%, obviously of that original 100%. Raiding gives us 200%, so twice as much. Sacking is the same. Looting is 125%, so 25% more. Raising is actually only worth 20%, so it's a fifth of what you get in standard. So raising, not really worth it. Post-battle loot is the same, and events and special things are exactly the same as well. Right, building chains. Let's go look. So there's a couple. The tower building chains, which is these ones over here. So these are all the different towers that you can do. And depends on Like, who are you devoting your thingy to? So, for instance, we're doing this one because we're doing orcs, basically. So, this one helps us with black orcs and stuff like that. So, it increases our green tide level, which we haven't talked about yet. We'll get to that. Campaign movement range is minus 10% for enemies within our region. Within our province, sorry, not region. Leadership is +5 when we're under siege. Attrition is minus 20%. Melee attack +1, faction wide. Upkeep minus 3% for boys, biggins, and black orcs. Minus 5% upkeep for lords and heroes as well. Also, this one, which is like a savage orc focused one. Again, increases green tide level. Campaign movement range 15%. Charge bonus +1. Physical resist +1. This is faction-wide stuff. Vigor loss minus 3%. Untainted +5. Untainted in adjacent provinces +2. Bone Clubber Tribe, Savage Orcs base cap, which we haven't also looked at either, +2. Upkeep minus 3% for Savage Orc Trolls and Giants. Right. Let's talk about unit caps, because there's unit caps within Steelfaith Overhaul if you haven't watched a campaign yet. So basically the way that works is, say Greenskins for example. So Grimgor starts and he's allowed 2 units of Black Orcs. That's it. It's always allowed in the whole faction, or in the whole game, right? There's other things like this, which obviously increase that cap. So now he's allowed 4 units. Now, within Steelfaith, you can choose. There's 4 options. You can choose faction-wide caps. So obviously that 4 cap unit applies to your whole faction. So that could be one army has 4 Black Orcs in it, or 4 armies have 1 Black Orc in it. You know, exactly the same, whatever. There's army caps. So you can actually say, no, each army is only actually allowed 2 Black Orcs. So now you've got 2 armies with 2 Black Orcs on it, right? So that's the other one. You can do both. So you can do faction and army caps. So as a faction, you're allowed 4, but per army, you're only allowed 2. Right? Makes sense. Or you can do no caps, and then it's like vanilla. And then the AI recruits 400 steam tanks, you know? That type of thing. We are doing the faction and army cap combined, because I think that's the better way of doing it, right? The only way I'd do it, otherwise, would be faction cap. I think army caps by themselves is kind of whatever. Because you can still have like 10 units of Black Orcs in each army. That's kind of stupid, right? No caps is equally as stupid. Whatever. That's vanilla. But I think faction army is the way to go. Otherwise, faction is the way to go. I think faction is the recommended. So that means you're allowed 10 units of Black Orcs for your whole faction. How you distribute them is up to you. If you put 10 in one army, that's fine. If you put 1 in each of your 10 armies, it's also fine. But I like the combination of both, where you only do a certain amount of each unit in each army. I like that. I think it gives you more balanced armies, allows you to develop different strategies and stuff like that. I think that's the way to play it, even though that's not the recommended, but that's the way I'm playing it. I think that's the way to do it. Anyway, side note. So this one is a Gobbo focused one, which obviously if we were going to play Gobbos, which I'm really contemplating. I actually want to play all of them now. I really want to play Savage Orcs, and I really want to play Gobbos as well, because I think they'll be equally as fun. So that's the Gobbo focused one. I won't read it. You guys can read it if you want to. And this one here, I think this is just like a generic. This is be okay for anybody, right? Other Mega Tower. Like, who names this shit? It's so funny. It's so good, so good. Right, anyway. So that's the towers, right? New squig building, which is back over this way, obviously to allow for Colossus squigs. So we've got the second level up here. Captives buildings. So this is these ones here. So that's that one and that one. Again, slightly hitting on different things. So that one is more obedience. And yeah, obedience and diplomatic relations with other dudes. This one is more money and growth, that type of thing for whatever region we're actually in. Very good. That's all the buildings as such. Yes. Alright. Steelfaith, done the new units. Done the units. Done the lords. We're doing well, boys. The WoW, I've already talked about that. God, I'm good. Alright. Campaigny stuff. Campaigny mechanics. Here we go. So, public order affects charge and melee attacks for all units in the province. On low public order, units will take a charge penalty, but get a small bonus to attack. On high public order, units get a charge bonus. So the way your public order is in your region affects how your troops actually act on the battlefield, which is really awesome. Now, the main part of like the new thing is this, the green tide. So the green tide attaches a variable effect to all greenskin factions, tracking their fame as a war boss. So basically, each faction has their own green tide, right? Improve your reputation by winning battles, stacking settlements, sorting captures, conquering land, but be careful, losing battles or staying idle for too long can lower your bonuses. Each time you increase in fame, you have a dilemma, allow you to pick between several bonuses to help you build your war. I don't know anything more about it than that, because that's all I've done. And I'm only on level 1 because I've only just started the campaign. But I believe there'll be like this next buff might be an extra 5% upkeep, but we might get 5 obedience, we might get 10 movement range out of it, but like all that comes at an extra as a cost of 5% more upkeep for our units. That might be how it works. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm only at level 1 myself, so I don't actually know 100% on that. But it's a really interesting mechanic, and I actually love it. It's actually really good. War economy, right, mining gold is for stunties, taxes is for humies. Well, the Greenskins do extort money from their people, usually gobos. Their main source of income comes from doing battle. There are several buildings which provide faction-wide bonuses to combat income, as well as some research options. So that's more like this type of thing that adds bonuses. Upkeep, no, where's the money one? Yeah, none of those. Where is the money ones? Income, yeah, 25% income. That type, that's actually really big. That's massive. Yeah, so there's that type of thing, but even they come at a cost of obedience. You see, it's all slightly different. Now, I know you guys are looking. See, this one's all obedience as well. Buildings. I know you were looking at those numbers. So, horde-like building system that requires population surplus. So, yes, all these buildings require population to increase. Which is so cool. That's how it should be anyway, because gobos like spread like rats, basically. They're basically very similar as far as their reproductive systems go that nobody knows about. Yeah, that's one. Like, they're relatively cheap to build. I'm $1,200, you know. $200, no, sorry, 900, but it costs you population to do it. Population actually goes up a lot faster in this than what it does in like vanilla as well. So, you know, it's not as bad as what you'd first think. Fightiness. Fightiness, not only do the Greenskins rely on fighting for their income, but the boys get bored if they idle for too long. Your armies will spend most of their time in foreign territory fighting and raiding. So fightiness is fightiness. Hasn't changed, really. Raise, there's 2 new options when raising. One is to eat the captives, and you get a massive buff, and the other is... I don't remember. The other is something. I can't remember. The eating one is huge. It's like 25% casualty replenishment rate or something for 5 turns or something. That's crazy good. And there's also 28 new technologies. Holy shamoles, right? Holy moly. Like, these ones here unlock if you get those towers. That's where the orcs are the best. The savage one. I don't know where the other ones are. There. Gobos. Gobo Metropolis. So it's really, and that's... Oh, that's the other mega tower. Yeah. So really, like, depends on what way you focus. You're going to unlock one chain, right? So that's obviously orc focus. That's just like generic campaigny type stuff. Gobos, obviously. Savage orcs, obviously, up in here. There's also still the normal ones as well. I think some of these values have been altered slightly. Because I believe like that one, oh, forget they actually increase their green tide level as well. So I forget like that one. Because I'm sure that was 10% in base game. I may be wrong, but I think pretty sure that's 10%. Yeah, I think these figures have been altered as well quite dramatically just by looking at them really quickly. Yes, okay. Right, I think we've done the theme of the army, we've done campaign mechanics, we've done units, we've done buildings, we've done economy, we've done the stances. Nice, we are officially done, but we're going to go and have a look at this dude's summon. And see what the unit looks like. A fight it means. We're not actually going to fight. We just want to see what the unit actually looks like. We're at about 45 minutes, which is about the same time as the first time I recorded this. Oh, I can't believe that, man. Honestly, this is a far better version, you know. This is far, far better. I don't know why my audio went all crazy. Unfortunately, I recorded another episode of a campaign too, and it's all messed up as well. I can't really do anything about it. Right, we're not, like I say, we're not actually fighting. We just want to see this dude. Right, well, sorry, but before we get to the actual battle itself, I forgot that there was the update for the last DLC that came out. So there's not a lot for the Greenskins, so I just chucked this in here. So Skarsnik can now recruit Night Goblins on Tier 1. Night Goblins on Tier 1 down from Tier 3. Fanatics on Tier 2 down from Tier 3. And Nasty Skulkers on Tier 3 instead of Tier 4. The Bone Clubber Tribe Savage Orcs have been given Banish. Wurzag has been given Arcane Mastery, as we've seen. Azeg, has been given Foe Seeker. Foe Seeker has been replaced with Flow of Battle. Grimgore can now cause fear, and small buffs to the Goblin-specific technology. So that's basically all that happened for the Greenskins in the last patch, which was for, obviously, the Shadow and the Blade DLC. Right, let's get back to the battle. Dude. They look freaking awesome. They look so freaking cool. Oh, mate, zombie orcs needs to be a thing, man. Freaking zombie orcs. That's so cool. Oh, dude, I love that. Like drugged out freaking orcs. Screenshots for days, mate. Screenshots for days. Hey, Zach, you get up here. I don't know if he's been remodeled. Oh, I can't just click him because I already drawn. I think so. I don't remember being as armored. How close are those guys? No, miles more. I don't remember being as armored as that. He looks way more orky than what he did before, I'm pretty sure. Dude, that's so cool. That's so freaking cool, man. Awesome. Very good, very, very good. Alright, boys, yeah, that'll wrap us up for this episode, anyway. Just a side note, if you do want to support these guys, the Steel Faith Overhaul guys, they do have a Patreon. They do have, like, PayPal and stuff like that, if you want to go and donate to them or whatever. I don't get anything out of it, but, you know, it's much appreciated for them. And the amount of work these guys put in is absolutely nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. So I'll put links to their Patreon and stuff in the description down below of this video, and probably all these videos, they'll have it as well. Sidebar, if you want to be my Patreon as well, you can jump over to my Patreon and jump on there as well. Muchly appreciated. Very muchly appreciated. Alright, boys, well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below as well if you want to see the other factions, because I'll work my way through them. Doing like one a week or something like that, because I think it'd be pretty awesome to see what the other factions have as well. Plus it's going to help us, you know, what we're actually coming up against, and maybe help us decide what faction we want to do next and that type of thing. Awesome. Alright guys, well hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to hit that like button. It really does help the channel out. Thanks for watching, boys, and we will see you next time.